We got bass, we got horns, we got the Stardom Sit-em Show for Week 15. What up, everybody? I am Marcus Grant, joined by Michael F. Florio out there in the ether. It's the specialist who helps us put on this show each and every day, each and every week. And here it is, Mike. We have made it to the start of the fantasy playoffs, Week 15, a big one. So if you are still watching the show, congratulations. It means you probably are in your fantasy postseason. And if you're not and you're still watching us, well, we thank you for your support. And we hope that we are just entertaining and informing you. But how are we feeling about this playoff season? Because now, I mean, it was sort of real before. Now it's like super, super real.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of stuff go wrong for me on Monday night. Like, I had one league where I needed 20 points out of Kyler Murray, Ramondre Stevenson, Marquise Brown, and Hunter Henry combined to get a bye, and I didn't get it. So now having like 3 leagues that I thought I was going to secure a buy in that I didn't, I'm stressed today.
Yeah, it's going to be stressful for a whole lot of people, but that's what we're here for, is to try and alleviate as much of that stress as we can with our starts and our sits. Of course, you can check out Florio's column every single week at NFL.com/start-sit. So we'll get into some of them here. We got plenty to go through as we go through the top starts and sits for Week 15. We got our trending players, the guys that deserve more hype, and of course, the guys that are going to get you into Club Dub with the guaranteed 25 points. But let's start with our Stardom Sit-em quarterbacks for Week 15. Who's on the list this week?
Justin Fields, I don't care about the matchup. I am still starting him. Dak Prescott in a great opportunity against the Jaguars. Justin Herbert, who's been playing great again. I love his matchup against the Titans. And I'm still willing to trust Kirk Cousins against the Colts this week. And I think Mike White is a very strong streaming option. Some sits. Jared Goff on the road against a tough Jets defense. Derek Carr against the Patriots. Tom Brady, who's just, it's been a struggle for Brady this year. And then Daniel Jones against the Commanders.
So let's start with Dak Prescott. He's going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been a really nice soft target for a lot of opposing quarterbacks. It looked like Dak was starting to heat up, but kind of had a rough one last week against the Houston Texans. But again, this just feels like a matchup that's hard to avoid considering how bad the Jaguars secondary has been.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like, I know Dak Prescott has struggled the last couple of weeks in fantasy football, and the frustrating part is the Cowboys keep winning, so, like, why would they really change things up? But this week against the Jags, they've allowed the 6th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks in the last month, and since week 6, the only quarterback to face them and not finish top 12, making them a QB1 in that week, was Russell Wilson. Even Ryan Tannehill, I don't care that it came in garbage time, and he kind of backdoored his way into being the 12th quarterback on the week. He got you nearly 18 fantasy points last week. I was getting some mean tweets about that one until the garbage time points came in. But Dak Prescott, I think he'll throw. The Jags have been better against the run than the pass. So if there's ever a week to start Dak Prescott, I think it's this one.
Spoiler alert, on Fantasy Live, I like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb as a nice stack this week against Jacksonville. On the other side, Jared Goff has been amazing for a good long stretch. He's had a lot of really favorable matchups. This week, not so much. They are on the road. They are at the Jets. This just feels like a perfect storm of bad for Jared Goff.
Yeah, exactly. This is like kind of the exact opposite of Dak, who's been struggling but gets a good matchup. Goff's been playing really well, but the matchup is so tough. The Jets are allowing just 14 fantasy points per game. That's the 8th lowest in the NFL, but it actually should be a lot lower because Josh Allen's had 2 big rushing games against them, but they shut him down in the past. They've shut down everyone in the passing game. They haven't allowed multiple passing touchdowns since like week 3. And then the road woes. Jared Goff has not scored 15 fantasy points in a road game this season, while he scored over 15 in every single home game. I'm not a huge home road guy, but when the splits are this jarring, I think you have to take note.
It is definitely something to pay attention to, and this may spread to a lot of his pass catchers as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Chark, Jameson Williams, all guys to sort of beware of in Week 15. Speaking of pass catchers, let's take a look at the wide receiver starts and sits for Week 15. Take us through them.
Garrett Wilson, I just think he's a must-start option moving forward, and we talked about it on Fantasy Live. The stack between him and Mike White is looking appealing this week. Mike Williams is in a great spot. I still am riding with Michael Pittman Jr. everywhere I have him, and I think this could be a big game for Devonta Smith. And then you see there's Zay Jones. Going to talk more about him later, but I really like him this week. Gabe Davis is a sit for me. He's just been struggling, bad weather, all of that. Allen Lazard against the Rams. He has not been the same since the Christian Watson breakout. Adam Thielen, the floor and ceiling are just, they're not super. He's too boomer busty in a tough matchup. And then Drake London against the Saints. He's been playing better as of late, but I don't want to start him in a rookie's first start in the fantasy playoffs.
There's just so many question marks about the Falcons right now that it might be better to stay away. But we don't have to stay away from Mike Williams. Came back and had a big game last week against the Miami Dolphins at home. Now he goes to take on the Tennessee Titans, and you really couldn't ask for a better matchup for a wide receiver.
Exactly. The things that Mike Williams does well is he scores touchdowns and he wins downfield. And we saw him do that last week when he had over 116 yards and a touchdown. Finishes a top 5 wide receiver. I think he could be top 5 again this week because not only have the Titans allowed the most fantasy points per game to receivers, they've allowed the most production on deep passes this year. And if the Chargers are going to test this defense and take downfield shots, you have to imagine at least a few of them will be with Mike Williams. So a good chance for him to put up points in chunks and score touchdowns. Him to just be out there doing what Mike Williams does.
That is exactly what we like to see. And look, it's elevated Justin Herbert as well. Herbert was doing some decent things on his own, but it's just so much nicer when you have guys like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams out there to help make plays for you. Gabe Davis recently, it's been a struggle. I wouldn't even say recently. This has been going on for a little while now that it's kind of been a struggle for Gabe Davis. Now he is at home against the Miami Dolphins this week, a game that expected to be cold, potentially snowy in Buffalo. By the way, you can see it at 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Stream it on NFL Plus. But still staying away from Gabe Davis this week, huh?
Yeah, one, like you said, cold, snow, potential wind there. That just hurts any of the pass catchers, especially a downfield threat. But like you said, this has been going on for a while. Since the Bills' Week 7 bye, he's averaging just 9.6 fantasy points per game. He only twice his top double figures and once top 15. So he used to be boom or bust. Now it's just the boom has really gone away. And the Dolphins on passes of 10-plus air yards, which are where Davis has 88% of his receiving yards on those passes this season. They're allowing the 8th fewest passer rating. So them being guarding well against the deep ball with the bad weather and everything, unless you're just taking a swing for the fences type of chance, I would get away from Gabe Davis.
I totally get being concerned about Gabe Davis. I just have this sneaking suspicion that the big play is coming in this game. There's no analytics, there's no metrics to back it up. It's just kind of a gut feeling that I think something big is going to happen, which is a nice segue to our segment that we call How We Feeling. We talk about a list of guys and we go through our opinions and our emotions about them heading into this week. So let's start in that same game with Miami and Buffalo. Tua Tagovailoa in a bit of a slump, had bad weeks against the 49ers and against the Chargers, now goes on the road to Buffalo. How we feeling about him on Saturday?
I'm really worried about Tua this week, and I put it out on Twitter. Like, the league is adjusting to Mike McDaniel and Tua and their system right now. I do think long term that they'll adjust back. It's just what we see when we see new coaches. The adjustment they've made is they're playing more split safety coverage rather than too high, and the Bills run that coverage the third most in the NFL. So I think it's just a bad matchup for Tua. And then Tua's only played 2 games, I think, in his life. Like, Joel Smith, our researcher, went through his high school, college games as well. He found 2 games in sub-45-degree weather. Tua's thrown 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions in those games. It's projected to be below 30. And I know Mike McDaniel came out and he was like, cold weather's only a factor if you make it, like if you think it's going to be a factor. And no offense, Mike McDaniel, you're one of my favorite head coaches in the league. I'm not sure if you know how cold weather works, especially cold weather in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's walking around wearing a t-shirt that says, I wish it was colder. Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Trevor Lawrence going against the Dallas Cowboys. And I will tell you that at least on paper, the matchup does worry me. But what gives me hope is the fact that Lawrence is just playing really good football right now. And we've seen him be able to get out of the pocket, make throws sort of off platform, look really accurate, look really aggressive. And I think he takes that with him. I know he's going to be under pressure from Micah Parsons and the rest of that Dallas Cowboys front, but I still think he finds a way to get the ball out to Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and find a way to put up a decent fantasy number. You know, in New York, the MTA is experimenting with P detection technology to figure out its elevator situation there in the subway. They should probably use it on Saquon Barkley fantasy managers to determine their fear level this week, Florio.
Yeah, any New Yorker will tell you don't get on the elevator, take the stairs. It's the better bet. I've been saying all week how worried I am about Saquon, but I love that he's off the injury report. It looks like it's going to be full systems go for him this week. I don't love the matchup at all. I'm fearful, but he's Saquon Barkley. You have to start him.
D'Onta Foreman for the Carolina Panthers last week did not get as much work as I thought, and this week he's got a matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I will tell you that I'm not that optimistic. I mean, the Steelers defensively against running backs, they've been sort of middle of the pack, but what really worries me is, are the Panthers going to use a multitude of running backs again this week? We saw a lot of Chuba Hubbard. Then we see Raheem Blackshear score a rushing touchdown. Yes, it was nice that they used Foreman as the closer when it was late and they were trying to close out the game. The fact is there were a whole lot of guys involved, and that concerns me when the matchup isn't really stellar to begin with. DeAndre Swift looked like he was going to be a thing for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly he wasn't a thing. Now he's got the Jets. How do we feel here?
Not great, because like you said, like 2 weeks ago, we thought he's back. He's fully acclimated. He's healthy. And then they just get away from him again. They're using 3 running backs there. The Jets are such a tough defense. The Lions are on the road. There's so much going wrong right now. He is not a must start. He's also not someone like a must sit. He's kind of one of those players that it just depends on your other options.
Speaking of options, there's Amari Cooper going against the Ravens on Saturday. You can check out that game on NFL Network. And I'm not super excited about it, but I also don't know that you can get away from Amari Cooper. I mean, here it is. The matchup's not particularly great. The Ravens secondary has been pretty good for most of the year. On top of it, he's sort of playing through injury. He says he's not going to sit. Now, whether it's a core injury or a hip injury, I guess depends on where you're reading. But either way, he's less than 100%. Donovan Peoples-Jones is getting more work. David Njoku is there. And even with Deshaun Watson throwing the ball downfield, I am not super confident about this week. But again, it's going to be really hard to sit Amari Cooper. Jalen Waddle's been banged up recently. How do you feel about him against your Bills?
I'm worried for the reasons I said about Tua. In his last 2 games combined, he has 3 catches for 40 yards, and that's it. But with that being said, you're not sitting him for a streamer. There's far too much upside with Waddle. I would need to have a very solid pivot option to get away from him.
Last one is Jerry Jeudy coming off a hat trick last week for the Denver Broncos. And look, I feel about Jerry Jeudy now sort of the way I felt about him going into last week. I don't think he's a great start, but I do think the arrow points up simply because it doesn't look like we're going to have Courtland Sutton this week. So that means that Jeudy, as long as he can stay on the field, is going to see plenty of targets. The matchup on paper is pretty good. But then again, you sort of counteract that with the quarterback situation when it looks like Brett Rippon is going to be the starter for the Broncos. So I feel like Jerry Jeudy, kind of a low-end wide receiver 2 at best, probably more of a wide receiver 3, and you're playing him at your own peril. Coming up, we know that your season is on the line because of the playoffs. So, all you got to do is find yourself a lockdown, solid, no doubt about it, tight end. So much easier said than done. We'll go through the starts and sits at that position, plus some under-the-radar must-starts. That's next here on the Stardom Situm Show. Saturday football returns to the NFL on December 17th, and NFL Network is your home for an exclusive triple header. The Colts take on the Vikings at 1 p.m. Eastern, followed by Ravens-Browns at 4 p.m., then a huge divisional showdown in prime time as the Dolphins battle the Bills at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a big-time triple header all day this Saturday, only on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus. Stardom Situm tight ends for Week 15. Please try to make some sense of this, Mike.
Yeah, it's tough to make sense of it right now, but David Njoku is a must-start tight end. I would make the same argument for Dalton Schultz this week and moving forward. Evan Ingram has to be started after what he's been doing lately. Greg Dulcich, because he's the lucky winner of who gets the Cardinals this week, and then a streaming option, Dawson Knox. And the sits, spicy a little bit here, but Cole Kmet in a tough matchup against the Eagles, Tyler Higbee against the Packers, Tyler Conklin against the Lions, and then Daniel Bellinger against the Commanders, who've just shut tight ends down this season.
So don't start any Tylers. Got it. But on the other side, there's David Njoku, who really has been playing well all year long. I know he missed some time with injury, but when Jacoby Brissett was there, he was a guy that we looked to. Now they've got Deshaun Watson at quarterback, who really has elevated the passing game, or at least is trying to. It seems like they're sort of force-feeding the passing option. But you like David Njoku against the Ravens this week.
Yeah, last week was his first game this season with Deshaun Watson, and he had 9 targets, so that stood out. He caught 7 of them for 59 yards and a touchdown, scoring 18.7 fantasy points, his second most on the season. So it's great to see that he could be productive with Watson back out there. And then he's averaged 13.5 fantasy points per game since week 3. Only Travis Kelce has more. So, like, that's elite when we're talking about tight ends, because if you take away Travis Kelce, I mean, he would be the best of the best at the position. He needs to be started week in and week out moving forward.
It's amazing how we've sort of shifted our perception on fantasy elites at the tight end position all year long. Evan Ingram has sort of made his way to the top tier of fantasy tight ends. Right now, he is your tight end 4. Although you can also throw the check mark, the asterisk next to it, saying that about 30% of his fantasy production came in one game. I know on some levels it feels like point chasing, but on the other level, it feels like maybe the Jaguars have found something offensively.
Yeah, like you're never going to get 15 targets, 11 catches, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 39 fantasy points again. Like that's a career game. It's literally the best tight end game ever in Jaguars history. But I think what gets overlooked is the week before that, he had 7 targets, he caught a touchdown, he scored 14 fantasy points, so he's been consistently involved as of late. He's running hot, scoring touchdowns in 2 straight. And the Cowboys, I know on paper it's a tough matchup. They're tough against every position, but I think the Jags will have to throw. These are 2 good offenses as well. So, and plus, if Trayvon Diggs is on Christian Kirk, that could mean more volume getting spread around.
You talk about this being the top tight end game in Jaguars history. I decided to go and Google like Jaguars tight ends. It's not great. I mean, like Mercedes Lewis might be the greatest one they've ever had. Julius Thomas had a year there. Tyler Eifert was there for sure. It's not a great list of tight ends in Jaguars history. Not to take away from Evan Ingram, but also the competition, not very stiff. Time now for Finger Licking Starts. Finger Licking Good Start of the Week, I should say, presented by KFC. Make sure I get that right. Let's talk about some guys that deserve some more hype and our must-starts for the weekend. So who's first on your list?
I like Miles Sanders a lot this week. The Bears have struggled against the run. Their defense is super banged up right now. And then Miles Sanders, for as much as we all doubted him, myself very much so included, coming into the season, he's been getting a lot of work. Like he had 17 carries last week, 21 a couple of weeks before that, and he's good for usually over 13 touches per game. And even in the passing game lately, he wasn't really used there much at all. But in the last 3 games, he has 8 targets, which it's not a whole lot, but it's better than what he's been getting. But this is about the matchup. Like the Bears, they just struggle in general. I think they'll be ran all over this game.
So Miles Sanders, a good option against the Bears. I like Elijah Moore against the Detroit Lions, in part because he's starting to see more work. He's getting on the field. Last week, he had the highest route percentage that he's had since week 4 of the season. And now, looks like the Jets are going to be without Corey Davis this week in what's going to be an excellent matchup. The Lions have actually been a lot better against running backs for the last month or so. Second fewest points allowed to the running back position, but the most points allowed to wide receivers. So it appears that the Lions defense can't multitask. That's probably good news for Elijah Moore. There's another wide receiver that's on your mind this week.
Yeah, Zay Jones. I had him as a streaming option on the board, and I'm starting Zay Jones in every league I have him in, which is multiple. He's been averaging 10.8 targets per game in the past month. That's 4th amongst wide receivers. And he had the one dud where he had like a bunch of drops. But besides that, 14.8 fantasy points in every other game in that 4-game stretch, over 21 twice. Tons of volume, tons of weekly production. And again, Cowboys, they're probably going to have to throw the ball against them. And if Trayvon Diggs is on Christian Kirk, we could see Zay Jones get even more volume.
My last one here is Dalton Schultz going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'd say this, I think Dalton Schultz has a chance to sort of be an unsung playoff MVP for a lot of people. The schedule is really good down the stretch for the Cowboys, especially at the tight end position. And even though we've mentioned Dak has been sort of up and down the last couple of weeks, he is starting to get Schultz more involved just because the Cowboys are looking for a second pass catching option. After CeeDee Lamb, it looks like the man in the middle can be it, and it feels like this is a good week for him to get it going against a Jaguar secondary that has been meh at best so far this year. We are not done. Still to come, we go through the starts and sits at the running back position, plus which surprise player down in the Bayou is a must-start for Florio coming up this weekend. You'll find that out after the break on the Stardom Sit 'em Show.